I got 7, Mark.
7 o'clock, okay. Are we gonna push the button and turn it on? All right, thumbs up. Let's have the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. All right. Hopefully everybody has recovered from the fireworks and the heat, exhaustion, and all of that. So we'll have a roll call.
Mark Foltz.
Here.
Mark Frazier.
Here.
Francis Griffith.
Here.
Kelly Schmitz here. Troy Carmelin.
Here.
Okay, Kelly has put together the short agenda. Any additions? Are you good?
Motion to
Okay.
approve.
Motion approved by Mark. Seconded.
Second.
Butch. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. What we got next? June 7th, regular meeting minutes are all typed out for you. Any corrections or changes?
Motion
Motion
to
to
approve. Oh, go
Motion to
ahead.
approve by
Troy.
Mark, seconded by,
Troy motioned, I'll second.
you second? Okay, Troy, you're the head man. Mark, second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, check public comments, all once. Troy, the sheriff report last month.
Looks like last month we had 140 calls for service, 42 of them were traffic stops. Kind of getting numbers back where they used to be a little bit.
Now, what's the 28 hangups, 911 hangup?
Somebody called 911 and they hung up.
That's terrible. Guys don't do that. All right,
Yeah, they have to be investigated.
that's right, that's not good. Okay, Troy, Mark, CC, Mark.
There's nothing to report on the chief situation. We did approve, I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not, but we did approve half assessments for the campground sites
Oh, okay. Yeah.
for ambulance. That's, which is a gain in a couple of them, because a couple of them are only paying $65 for the whole site,
Okay.
but it's still.
That's done.
And we got an update on the SCBA's. That was one of the things that OSHA gave us a hard time about, and they were ordered end of the year, and they were supposed to be in last month, and now they're at least August. And we had 6 months to comply, so we had to get an extension from OSHA to, that was another joke. Yeah.
All right, very good. DDA, we didn't meet. We will meet July 17th. Wednesday, July 17th at 6:30 here. Zoning, we did have an electrical permit for just something on Lansing Road, near the Family Dollar, some capital, something or other. We looked it up on the.
Wall-mounted sign. Yes.
The wall, yeah, wall sign. Large but high one. Anyway, that was there, and then we had one building permit, that was it, for a deck. And we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enforcement issues, one cancellation, so 6 really, some of them are ongoing. Junk and debris, they're focusing on junk and debris right now. Since it's nice weather, people have got their junk and debris out, so it's time to get the junk and debris put away, or find your best friend and give it to. All right, so that's the zoning. Commissioners absent? Tom? Okay. Library?
Up to any report from the library is they did up their mileage per mile to what the county is. And they were 25 cents a mile, which was, they got people that have to go between the library branches and stuff that wasn't fair.
No.
And the benches are supposed to be in and installed. I don't know if they are or not, the solar benches, those two spots in Perry.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
that.
That is checked. Okay. Troy, your 69 trade.
We did meet last month. Wasn't anything of great substance on the meeting. The EDs talked extensively about you know, the struggle there are with workers,
Oh,
you know, and everything, and, you know, there's some concern among, you know, Justin and his counterparts in the other counties, you know, like there's this big project in St. Clair going on, you know, that's several thousand jobs, but as the guy from St. Clair pointed out, there are several thousand people in St. Clair County looking for jobs, so really we're poaching from other projects, and, you know, he said, you know, 5 years ago, we worked on this project to bring these in, and now we're just taking, this project's going to take people from that. I mean, we gotta figure this out, you know, and we accomplished nothing, but we had some big philosophical discussions, many of which are levels above us, but I mean, just some of the challenges economic developers are facing. I mean, they worked so hard on building this, and now they have companies and they don't have the talent, you know, with it. And it's not just a localized problem. I mean, it's a demographic problem to some extent. So, other than that, there was nothing of anything major.
okay. But you had enough people for it?
Yep, barely.
Okay, good. All right, back to Mark on the SCDP.
Well, to add to what Troy was just talking about, SCDP is now being considered one of the leading people in the country, actually.
Ours? Okay.
Yeah, because we've developed some child care programs and ways to help assist people with, you know, and employers with the child care issue and in finding talent. And we haven't solved it, but we are making steps in it. And I mean, there's a lot of work in that, and that's been a change for SCDP in the last 2 or 3 years from what it used to be. So the organization's been working very hard to try to solve some of these.
Housing, child care.
Yep, and it's been I mean, it's a big issue, and we know it's a big issue, but if you can get childcare, then there's more people that can go to work that are stuck at home because they got kids at home, and that kind of thing. So, we did change banks from Huntington to Horizon, because we're gonna be in the county, you know, in the Surbeck building, so the Horizon's right there. And
Sure.
We discussed Durand. There is 2 battery companies currently looking at chunks of that property. One is a Michigan company, one is a United States company.
Good.
And we're still very adamant about keeping as much of that information as possible out in the open. You know, secrecy, this was my great quote of the day that day, was secrecy makes suspicion. And that's what's happening in a lot of these other sites right now. They keep stuff secret, people
And they go up
suspect.
in arms about it.
Yep. The Lennon project with the autonomous dredge company is moving forward. That's just in our county. It's on the northwest corner of 69 and 13.
Okay.
It's
That's a
not
company moving
pension
from
returns,
Tennessee
but
County.
That's what each one of these is.
Okay.
That'll bring a few jobs.
About 150, I think. Rose Boulevard on the west corner of Rose Boulevard and Lansing Road, there is a company going in that is going
Metal lift company.
that you make metal sheeting, right?
Yeah.
Are they actually gonna make it or distribute them?
I understand they're gonna have the rollers and presses they're
Oh, okay.
making.
They're gonna bring 2 people from up there, wherever they're from, and they're gonna hire at least a minimum of 7. So there'll be at
What's the
least
name?
9 people there working, so. it's
You know the name of the company?
Huh?
Name of the
I
company?
don't know.
Yeah, I got it in there. I don't have it with me.
But it's interesting. I mean, it fit the zoning and everything, so there's really not a lot we're gonna see on it, but.
No, we'll just see a site plan. I mean, there's nothing else that needs to be done
Their
there.
engineers input.
And they may come in and ask for some kind of
Tax
abatements, but, you know.
Yes, so we talked about that. We're having another phone conversation at 9 o'clock Tuesday with Justin. We had one last week, and I asked them for the plan. I got a site plan, and I gave it to Troy.
But yeah,
We have a
it's,
site
I
plan.
mean, it's already zoned industrial, so that's,
Yeah.
And I understand there's a Dollar General going at Lansing and Morris Road.
We hear-
just kind of west of it a little bit. Not right at, used to be the car dealership there. It's west of that.
Down the hill.
Down the hill there, yeah. No, the village planning commission approved site plan and everything at their last meeting, so that's
Yeah.
pretty much a go, I
We
believe.
heard about it, what, 2 or 3 months ago?
Well, Dollar General's been,
Yeah.
their business model is to put them in every small town they can.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they're gonna put one 2 miles from another one, but no, you're correct. They have a certain business model.
People use them, I was there 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, right, I mean,
There's,
what they look at is a town like Morris, there's no other,
Right.
other than the gas station, there's no other store there.
Yeah, once that store closed downtown, that.
Right.
and
So-
let's be honest, it's the only place you can buy a gallon of bleach for $1.
But I mean, it'll be, it's, anything in the villages and the townships, so it's revenue for us to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Actually-
mean, it's,
Actually, village DDA will capture most of it, but nonetheless, no, it's on a commercial, there wasn't an issue, it's on a main road, it's
yep,
Perfect for them.
perfect.
yep. So other than that, there's a number of grants, our grant writer program has become very successful at SCDP. There's a lot of grants and it works with a lot of communities, we've gained members,
Good, from that.
Local governments that never would join before, like Bancroft and Byron, because of the grant program, and so there's
It's good.
just a lot of things going on. We have, we're slated in September for the meeting,
We are.
for the lunch meeting here. And,
Oh, in September. Okay.
yeah, we cleared that a long time ago, remember, September 18th? But we haven't gotten anybody to sponsor the lunch yet. If we know of anybody that might be interested in doing a sponsorship for the lunch, business or something, we might want to. I'm talking to you mostly, Mark.
Hmm.
I knew that you weren't listening to me.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm thinking of the bank in, up here.
Oh, credit union?
That's
That might be a good
That's
idea.
what I'm thinking, my mind's.
Yeah, or Spartan Fence would be a good idea.
Well, they would, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just,
we can look.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it
wrote
would
the
be,
date.
it would be helpful to,
Is it
yeah,
okay.
yeah, here,
Here, okay.
Yep. so,
Work on that. I'll put that high on my list.
other than that, well, in the land bank, we haven't had a meeting since our last township board meeting because of the first Monday was the 3rd. So our meeting's next week, so we didn't have anything really to report. Basically, we've been working on these blight grants and some stuff like that, and with the properties that we were given by the state land bank, and those ones that are those slivers here and there, we've contacted the bordering landowners, and we've got quite a bit of interest. They're not gonna pay much money,
No, but they'll get it. Take
but
it.
it'll go on the tax rolls and it'll quit being orphans, and that's the big thing, so,
Very good. Okay, anything else? Well, how about the planning commission?
no meeting.
Oh, that's right. Your next meeting is.
A public hearing,
Public hearing, and it's on July 20th at 7 o'clock in this room.
So
or if there's a huge crowd, we'll come out here.
We're out here.
so, so far we received three comments, and they've all been
Positive.
very positive. Livingston County prepared a
Good.
several-page letter.
Really?
They have a county planner, a serious person, but
And they reviewed it.
they reviewed it, but they were just very complimentary, thought it matched, they're looking at how do we compare to Conway's, which corners and all of that, and they said it all matched well, they liked it, thought it would serve us well.
That's great.
We got one today from Williamstown, same thing, thought it,
We
we
had one
just,
from Lock Township before that, didn't we? Or who was the other one from?
Woodhull.
Woodhull.
yeah, Woodall thought everything looked good, everything we've gotten so far has been very complimentary, thought it was a great plan.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it is a great plan.
Good, good.
In fact, somebody from Livingston asked us who we had do it.
Second.
Asked us who we had do it.
Oh!
I had
Well, we'll have to talk to her.
3 counties look at it, and two of them wanted to know what company
Right.
Did it?
did
Yeah.
it, because it was the most thorough master plan they had.
Just say a
Seen
professor
in
from
quite
Michigan
some
State
time.
University.
We, in the county we've heard nothing from is our own.
Right.
What do we expect to?
Just,
That would be nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
Did you hear anything from Bennington?
no, not yet, but we did hear from Woodhull.
Yeah.
That's good, that's good.
Well, I knew
And like I
Chuck-
said, Williamstown, you know, did it too.
I knew Chuck liked it, Woodhull.
All right,
Okay, so correspondent, financial report, pay the bills. Should we,
All right.
should we do this first?
we'll do that.
Okay, okay.
So we've got, we got your bills listed in front of us. You know, we had a couple of our, like our mineral brine. And we did have our annual insurance renewal, which did go up substantially this year.
It's mostly just property and liability.
Yeah.
He met with us actually.
Yeah, he met with us, and I mean, because he wanted to prepare us for a possible sticker shock, and it's still within what we had budgeted, because we anticipated going up. I mean, one of the big things with it was, you know, the value of, first of all, the value of the buildings has just gone up so much. I mean, the numbers they have to replace this building are a lot, but I mean, it would cost a lot to replace this building. You know, so we had a really nice talk with them. Cause they had a couple of our road bills, we had a partial on, partial
Why
on
is
the
there, why
audit.
is there two bills on Brian?
One is for, so one is for they build the extra that we put down separately, if that makes sense. So it's about 15,000 per application for the 3 passes, but they did the third one later, so it came on a separate bill.
First two and then.
Right, it's still the correct amount, it should be about 15,000 per, they do it once now and then they'll do it once in August.
Toward the end of the season.
Right, so those two together are the correct amount. We did get a revenue sharing check for this quarter,
Is that what we expected?
it's right in the range, yeah.
55, 7?
You know, and then when you go through your budget to date, you know, we are a quarter of the way through the fiscal year. So,
Things are looking good?
everything looks fine, I mean, you know, things like the insurance, that's a once a year type bill.
Yeah.
But, you know, no. Things look fine to me.
Any questions? No. All right,
Motion to approve?
Mark, let's make a motion to approve the money, financial, and you want a second, it, Kelly? Butch is shaking his head up and down, yes. Roll call vote.
Mark Gold.
Yes.
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
Francis Griffin.
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Trey Parker.
Yes.
Yes. As you may know, we only had one, Kelly got one correspondence from last month, and it really was, it had more blacked out than it had actual information for us. And it had to do with the broken door. And so she got the report from the state of Michigan, and then we've asked for a little more clarification maybe.
Right, so I had to FOIA the police report for the break-in here. And like he said, it was mostly blacked out. It was a useless document, really. So I called the prosecuting attorney's office to find out where that was at, and they said it was in the process of being reviewed. And I said, what does that mean? And they said, well, they're gonna figure out what to charge him with. I said, well, okay, well, are you gonna contact us? And she says, well, yeah. I said, do you have our contact information? So I ended up giving that to her,
Good.
and I haven't heard anything back.
So, well, anyway.
I mean,
Don't know what we can do.
the whole thing didn't amount to, I mean,
400.
you know, they didn't amount to our deductible, so it's not like a huge deal. We just wanna, Kelly was staying on them to make sure that they actually prosecute the guy.
Yep.
And probably if we don't stay on them, they won't.
Yeah,
That
well,
would be my guess.
you know, I feel like if he needs other help, then
Yeah.
that needs to happen.
But I mean, nonetheless, you know, like I told the trooper that night, I mean, he broke into a governmental building.
Yeah.
This wasn't, you know, just some random shed in the backyard. I mean, this building has election equipment in it and all kinds of stuff. None of that was out or anything like that, but nonetheless, it's,
I mean,
if we're gonna
could have been,
if we're gonna be worried about all that stuff, then we need to be worried
it
about
could have been
it.
set up for a wedding or a funeral.
Building
There could
belongs
have
to the
been a lot of-
taxpayers, and
Yes,
we have to do the job for the
But
taxpayers.
I mean, there's getting to be more and more scrutiny on all this election stuff and security, and
Absolutely,
this
absolutely.
building is a polling place, and therefore, somebody breaks in, and they damn well better
The
prosecute.
good news is we're getting, it's all hard for cameras now. We've got the cameras right in there. We're going to get that all, and that'll help on this one. So, but anyway, that's really the only course.
But they caught the guy, I mean, it wasn't like
Oh,
we
yeah.
needed the cameras to identify
He
it.
lost his dog and
It's-
and a shoe, but other than that, they caught
It's
him.
up to the prosecutor's office to, you know,
We did receive correspondence from the Shiawassee County Farm Bureau.
Oh,
They are extending an invitation for an agricultural business tour or bus tour. It leaves out of the Corunna Public School football field on August 21st from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It stops at multiple farms, and the purpose of it is to learn about local agricultural diversity, conservation efforts through the meat program and issues that farmers face.
good.
it's open to all elected officials, so if you're interested, it's free.
Let's see. CESA applied for a grant for equipment purchases. Yeah. So
Fire.
the township wrote a letter to the Department of Treasury confirming that Perry Township is covered by CESA and that we are an incorporated member and that we fully support the application for the equipment purchase.
So this fire grant that, you know, it's a kind of a big one, and money is given out per municipality, and authorities can get, normally it would just go to the local government, the city or township. But authorities can get the money, you know, if they're covering fire for that municipality. So they needed a letter from each municipality saying that they provide our fire. And it's gonna be, you know, so they get all of Perry Township and Morris, and they'll also get a prorated portion of Bennington and Antrim for it. So it'll be
It could be
$50,000,
close.
yeah. So it'll be,
And we can retroactive it to some of the stuff we've already bought.
actually it's specifically designed for that, because if you get it, you have to spend it by September. I mean, it's quick, I think, but yes, any equipment purchased since last August, and so they purchased those SCBA's, which are on an installment plan, so this can be used to pay on the installment plan.
Yeah.
Really
That'd be a
great.
big help.
Good.
Yes,
That's
yes, great.
And that'd be paid back.
Yep, no, Dan did quite a lot of work. He came in one day and because he needed a couple municipal code numbers from Treasury and stuff that we got taken care of, so
Good deal.
should be in good shape.
Yep, good.
Anything else?
Nope,
No,
that's it.
anything else? Anything else?
No,
Go ahead. Any unfinished business that we have to take care of? No. New business, Kelly?
We received the SCDP invoice in the amount of $3,556.
so our procedure is we always approve that one separately. So I will make a motion, we approve the annual SEDP bill for $3,556 for economic development services.
Second that bill. Okay, roll call vote.
Troy Parmalee?
Yes.
Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
Francis Griffin?
Yes.
Shelley Schmidt, yes.
Any more public comments? Any new public
Yeah.
comments? Yeah.
Dollar General, there's actually 3 divisions, so all of the Dollar General's not one division. Because when they were building that new one in Owasso, they wanted a variance to put one at Bennington Road, and they didn't want to have all the parking spots.
Oh,
Well, then, when the road commission, or not the road commission, the
Yeah.
state made them put turn lanes and all of that, it went over budget, so they dropped it.
oh,
Well, I asked them why they wanted to put one so close when they just were building a brand new one. And that's when he said there's actually 3 divisions of Dollar General, so it's not,
Just one.
no, all of the Dollar Generals aren't one group, there's actually 3 groups.
Actually, I know in Morris, they did apply for a variance on parking spots for the one in Morris, and they gave it to them.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be nice. That'd be nice for those people around that area, you know, for sure.
Yeah, they, even the one over in, Byron there, they applied and it gave it to them.
But I mean, the one in Morris, it was zoned for that and everything already, so it was really no big deal. It's the way it's supposed to. You're supposed to have it planned out and the right thing goes in the right spot and it's supposed to be easy.
Yep.
That's how this is all supposed to
Any more information, any more?
work. Make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. Mark.
Second.
Second by Mark. Mark, or I mean Butch. I mean, Troy and Mark. I got it, Troy and Mark.
Doesn't matter.
Check, 7:29. Am I right?
Just barely made it.
7:29?
Just barely.